This is BBC 5 Live, available on the BBC iPlayer radio app. 5 Live Breakfast with Nikki Campbell and Rachel Burton.
Good morning. We're talking now about how you can make yourself feel better when you're going through perhaps one of the most challenging times in your life. Treatment for cancer, like steroids and chemotherapy, can often have a devastating effect on the way a person looks. People lose their hair, they feel and experience skin changes, weight loss, weight gain. It's something that the award-winning BBC 5 Live podcast, You, Me and the Big C, which won a gold award at the Radio Industry Arias last night. It's something that podcast did look at, presented, of course, by our very own Rachel Hodges, who died just over a few weeks ago now, just last month. And it spoke about this subject, as with all things it addressed, with great candidness.
I reacted really badly to the steroids. So I basically walked around the whole time with like the red... redness, and it would get really, really sore.
It like dry?
No, just almost like greasy spotty. It was just hideous, greasy spotty, and it would come in waves, like cycles, each cycle.
Yeah.
And I knew when my skin would be breaking out.
And so what, did you then cover that with makeup?
Yeah,
or did you
makeup. The thing is, for me, is I think it becomes like a self-fulfilling thing. So if I wake up and I look in the mirror and I look like crap, I feel like crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then if I kind of suddenly put a face on, I suddenly feel a little bit better.
Yeah,
and I think it's just that tiny, tiny bit. It forces you to get out of bed. It forces you to just, and it's part of my coping strategy, to be honest with you.
It's all about kidding yourself. And when it's almost just that glance of yourself that you get in the mirror. And if you look okay as you're going past and you think, well, I don't look sick. No, I'm fine. Yeah,
that's so
carry
true.
on with what I'm doing.
Deborah, Lauren and Rach talking on You, Me and the Big C. Well, we have in the studio with us this morning Fee Gales from Glossop, who found out she had a grade 2 brain tumour back in 2015. It's since become cancerous. Also, Becky Jacobs, who has cervical cancer, and Nikki Page, who's a volunteer makeup artist for the charity Look Good, Feel Better. Morning, all of you.
Morning.
Great to have you here with us this morning. Did all of that kind of make sense to you, what Deborah was talking about her skin breaking out and that kind of redness?
Yeah. I mean, Look Good, Feel Better, it's been running for 25 years now, and that's what it's all about. It's to give women back that confidence and that control over how they look during that time. They can be affected by their treatment, and we just give them tips and advice through our workshops on how they can overcome those, the way they can be affected, such as loss of eyebrows, skin redness and so on. So, yeah.
Right, Fee, then, tell us about how it's affected you physically in your appearance.
Well, I didn't lose my hair through chemotherapy. It was through radiotherapy, because obviously it's been on my brain. So my hair's starting to come back, but there's still quite a big patch where it looks like it might never grow back. So I didn't actually lose my eyebrows until after the workshop, but when I did lose them, because of the things I'd been taught in the workshop, I kind of knew, it didn't panic me as much as it could have done. Obviously still upset about it, but because, I'd had the eyebrow pencil, I knew, which angles to do. Because there's three points.
See, I don't know that.
I do not.
No, I'm hopeless. But I think that's the whole point when you've got guidance like that. And eyebrows might seem like a kind of, in the bigger picture of what you're going through, a bit frivolous. But it isn't, because actually they're important to help you look like who you are, the person you feel inside.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think the impact on people's appearance and how that's linked to your identity, I don't think that's spoken about. I think, mostly because it seems vain in the grand scheme of things, but I don't think it's vanity. I think, like you say, it's identity.
What about you, Becky? How have the treatments affected you physically?
So, spots. I can definitely agree with spots. I'm sat there with them now. So,
you look amazing. I can't see any spots.
5 hours sleep, always good. The spots, steroids. I bloated up like a chipmunk. So, to be able to put on some makeup and go out and be normal and not pretend that I haven't got the cancer sometimes is a really, really nice thing to actually be able to do. And I'm not the best with makeup. So the course helped me to know how I should be doing it, really. And eyebrows, I could lose them very soon. So definitely, I'm worried about that. That's one of the main things, is the hair, eyebrows, eyelashes.
Are you going in for more treatments?
Yeah. So I'm on ongoing treatment. So preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. But yeah, it could all go very soon.
And what kind of specific tips, we've talked about eyebrows a bit, but that you wouldn't have perhaps picked up anyway? I don't know. These days, younger girls, I think, watch so many makeup tutorials on YouTube. My daughter is much better informed about how to put on makeup than I am or ever was. So what kind of other techniques did you pick up?
To start with, really, it was the removing makeup and things like that. So apparently our eyelashes they can fall out really easily. So actually soaking on the remover for 5 minutes and then gently rubbing away, and also making sure you use 2 bits of cotton wool, so 1 for each eye, rather than, so you're not going to spread, because obviously we're susceptible to disease and all the infection.
So there's a health message in there as well.
Yeah, health message. So that was something new for me. Normally I get my baby wipe out and give a big scrub. Yeah, like that. So yeah, I should start doing that and looking after my skin better.
Sounds familiar. And did you find people comment, kind of friends and family, talk about, how well you look or otherwise?
Yeah, I always get told, oh, well, you look really well. And it's like, I really don't. Please don't lie to me. I mean, I was admitted to hospital recently. And even my boyfriend said, he was like, you look like death. I was like, okay, great. But yeah, I mean, that was quite a good thing about the workshop, is that they'd taken into account that you might be like immunosuppressed. So things like, like washing your brushes and stuff that you just wouldn't think to do.
Yeah. And actually, sometimes it's fine to look like death, right?
Yeah.
If you don't feel like making an effort, that's completely fine too.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Rach Bland always, she took great pride in her appearance, but that isn't the right way to go for everyone. I'd see her she had her hair extensions and her gorgeous lashes, and she looked absolutely fabulous all the time, but that made her feel like the person that she was, and she wanted to maintain that. And, and it isn't vanity, is it?
And we do say, you don't have to do this, you don't have to look great. It's just giving people the tools to do it if they wish to do it, and it's giving them that control to look good if they so wish to, and seeing that transformation from the beginning of the session to the end is absolutely fantastic.
I bet it's really rewarding.
Yeah, not just how they look but how they feel, and they all start talking to each other. It's a closed session, so they can take off their wigs if they want to, and it's just great. It's good fun. It's a lovely way to spend 2 hours.
Well, huge luck to both of you for the treatment that you're continuing to go through. Thank you so much for coming in and talking about it today. We really appreciate it. That's Fee Gales, Becky Jacobs and Nikki Page. The charity is Look Good, Feel Better. 7:51.